Hello, welcome to the Pinfall Podcast. I am your host, Liz. I'm still wearing my glasses. Let's not do that today. Um, I am, I am joined as always by my co-host Marcus.
That's me.
That's him. Happy, happy Impact Day.
First Impact podcast ever. This is revolutionary. This is a new era.
Did we not do one for an Impact pay-per-view?
Never did an Impact pay-per-view. Not that I know of. I think we did one. We might have done like a stream, 2K20 stream after a pay-per-view or something.
We've done 2K20 streams after Impact shows. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. So, what a show to have our first episode on. Wasn't very special.
It wasn't, but it was. It wasn't, but it was fun. Sorry, I'm trying to get something, and I had to move the thing with the sign.
Mm-hmm.
And Pepita immediately was like, "Gotta walk under that." Like she was in the middle of cleaning her paw, and then she saw that, and she was like, "Fuck." I still had so much fun with it though, and I think that's like the thing about Impact that I love is that like it doesn't really have to be an episode that's like phenomenal in any way.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I didn't love this episode. I thought it was like just fine. I'm starting to notice the similarities between WWE and Impact.
But don't say that.
It has to do a lot with like the booking and all that. But it's definitely not as bad as like Raw. But I still enjoyed it. There's some fun matches. Nothing exceptional, but still.
I definitely get more excited than I ever did with WWE
Yeah.
to tune into Impact.
Nothing feels too convoluted in Impact right now.
No, but what I like is that like the half of the show's the promos. The promos are super fun.
Yeah, and I know there's like the LOL TNA type stuff back in the day. But it Impact doesn't feel convoluted. It still feels like everything makes sense, even if you have Finn Juice and Bullet Club getting a title shot after title shot.
We didn't see any Finn Juice though.
We didn't. I think because they're doing New Japan stuff.
Are they?
Well, yeah, they're on Strong.
Oh, I haven't watched Strong in a while.
That's just me guessing. Because Jonah's also in Strong, so maybe I'm wrong.
That doesn't mean anything.
But Jonah and Juice have a feud, I think.
No, Jonah only beat up Juice because Juice was in the way of Moose. That's what Jonah was talking about today. It's like he wants to fight Moose.
I don't know. But yeah.
Yeah?
So Impact was fun.
I had a lot of fun with this episode. I think it was interesting to say the least.
Yeah. I wish they would stop doing the monthly pay-per-views. It's my same gripe with WWE, but at least with Impact, the quarterly ones still feel special. Like Hard to Kill feels special, unlike Turning Point. Bound for Glory definitely felt special.
Yeah.
With that said, there was some fun stuff like Scott D'Amore getting angrier and angrier with every time he had to explain that next week he's going to announce the 6 competitors in the Knockouts X Division match. Or
He didn't need to snap at Alicia the way he did.
I think he did. He's had to explain that too many times. She should watch her own product.
I just like that she like kept repeating it, and he was like, "Just listen to me. and then didn't answer the question again. And I was like, Scott.
It looks like we might be getting a title shot with Matt Cardona, which will be super awesome. Matt Cardona versus Moose. That's gonna be a great match, especially if it's like a no DQ street fight death match kind of thing.
Yeah.
With Matt Cardona's reputation in the indies for death matches. The stuff with inspiration and in the influence was a bit fun. Now that Tennille Dashwood is back, she was told about in another tag team that starts with the letter I, and that they're Australian too. But she's reunited with Inspiration because I think they were together in a not together, but like they knew each other from WWE.
Was Tennille in WWE?
Yeah, she was Emma.
Oh.
They'll
change their names and I forget who they are.
No Good Brothers at all today.
Well, yeah, sometimes there's a blessing.
Aw. That's kind of, I mean, yeah, it's kind of it for the recap in terms of special stuff. I mean, you also had like Jonah's first match, which was nothing special. He called out Moose, but didn't someone come out to? No, he called out Josh Alexander. Chris Sabin fought Matt Raywalt. What else happened? Trey, Miguel, and Macklin brawled backstage. Rachel Ellering fought Savannah Evans. Rich Swann and Willie Mack fought Violent by Design. You know, it was nothing super exciting. Run of the mill stuff, but it wasn't bad.
Story building.
Yeah. All right. So you want to go into the news, if there is any? Did you forget to look at the news?
No, I didn't.
You could just say there is no news.
No, there was news.
There was.
I think. I don't know. First piece of news is I ordered cookie cutters and they finally arrived.
Are they like sting-shaped cookie cutters?
No, they're Christmas shaped. Let's see. Bookmarks. I think there's news. Oh yeah, there's a little bit of news. Okay. It's almost all WWE news. First piece of WWE news is that they canceled their Canada return dates. Hate doing this on my computer, but my phone is almost dead. They were originally supposed to be in Winnipeg and Edmonton, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about ticket sales. There's not really a reason why, but apparently it also might include Toronto, which, if you recall last night, Trish Stratus was supposed to host the Toronto episode.
Right.
Or house show.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like the timing isn't exactly there.
I've got a couple pieces of news as well.
Oh, do you now?
I do. One of them is regarding AEW. One of them is about NXT.
Well, give me some time. Speaking of NXT, Dave Meltzer started talking about like the fact that like they might be getting rid of the cruiserweight belt.
That's not shocking.
Yeah.
Rename it. Make it something else.
Apparently, he's saying that because of Joe Gacy challenging for it, and Bivens waiving the weight limit. It looks like they're going to get rid of the cruiserweight title. Will it become the all-inclusive title? No, probably not. But it is kind of a shame, in my opinion.
I mean, yeah, but it never really got off the ground. There were some great champions like Angel Garza, and Leo Rush, but I don't think it ever landed anywhere once Vince took over with 205 Live. Had Triple H kept the reins of it, I'm sure it would have gone somewhere, especially with Santos Escobar holding it. But by that point, Vince was already in control of 205 Live, so there was nowhere else for that to go.
Yeah. Makes you wonder, though, if Gacy's actually... I guess this means that Gacy might actually get the title.
Maybe.
It's going to be... Okay. Sure. Also, this is not WWE news, and I guess I'll wait, but, like, I kind of want to talk about it now. No, I'll wait. Then some other NXT news is Beth Phoenix.
That was actually the news I wanted to talk about.
Oh, well, sorry.
No, it's fine.
You can talk about it technically. I'm just here to say that Beth Phoenix has announced that after War Games, she will be departing from NXT.
Yes, that will be her final night on commentary. And I wonder if anybody's going to be replacing her, or if it will just be Wade and Vic. Which sounds like a recipe for disaster.
I think that'd be cute.
Yeah. They should get Samoa Joe.
Fun. Yeah.
Or William Regal.
It's just a shame to lose, like, the only female commentator. Like,
well, are they getting rid of her, or is she leaving?
She's not doing commentary anymore. I don't know if she's technically stepping away from WWE as a whole, but she's not doing commentary anymore.
Yeah, she said, "I will remain a part of WWE. I've made the choice to." It was her choice to step away from the booth and spend more time with family. So yeah, it was her choice. I wonder who'll be replacing her.
If anybody.
If
anybody.
Yeah, they might not.
So while we're here, do you have any more WWE news?
Not WWE, no.
Okay. Some non-AW, non-Impact news. Alex Coughlin and Dante Caballero have been announced for the Terminus debut show.
Oh, good for them.
That was a couple days ago, but I thought that was interesting, and we didn't talk about that, so that's gonna be a really cool match.
Miriam, going back real quick, Miriam makes an interesting suggestion. Do you think this has anything to do with this Edge and Miz feud, where people are speculating that Miz and Maurice are going to face Edge and Beth in the future?
That'd be so cool.
That sounds very possible. Very, very possible.
I'd be very down for that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so now I've just got one piece of news left, and that's AEW. Apparently Anthony Ogogo is back.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Awesome.
He was back for the Dark Elevation tapings, I believe, prior to last night's Dynamite.
Oh, wow. I wonder if he'll make an appearance next week or at Winter is Coming. Hopefully Winter is Coming. That'd be an awesome show. But also hopefully next week when we'll be there.
I was going to say, let's have something. Because I'm not getting Bobby Fish.
His fucking walkout is one of the best.
I don't even remember it at this point.
My god. It's like kind of like Western-y, but British. It's like straight from Peaky Blinders. It's so good. It's so good. I would love to see him challenge like Hangman Page, like super quick. I feel like he deserves it.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And hopefully it gets the factory back in a better place, or at least he leaves the factory.
Well, he debuted, or not debuted, but he returned with the factory. So
Okay. So maybe some factory Dark Order stuff.
maybe that could be cool.
So I've got a little bit of AEW news as well.
Okay.
Jim Ross gave his treatment plan and returned to AEW. He said that he's got it all planned out. If it goes on schedule, his last treatment will be on the day of the Dynamite show at Daly's Place. He'll have his last treatment that morning and then hopefully be back on the air that night. So
That'd be cool.
hopefully everything all goes well and he can stick to that plan, if not sooner.
Yeah.
Best of luck to JR.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. You ready to go into the recap of the episode?
Okay. Let's do it. Uh-oh.
Johnny Gargano also teased on Twitter. He teased Rebel Heart coming back.
Yes, he did.
Please tell me he brings it back for War Games. That would be so amazing.
One final ride, baby.
Or let him bring Rebel Heart to AEW. Imagine. Oh my god.
They would never. They'd never let him.
Oh, I wish he could. All right, so tonight's episode of Impact, we'll quickly mention BTI, which had Hikuleo versus Jake Something. Really fun match that Jake Something won over in.
Yeah. Scary shit watching two men of that size.
Yeah, we had a couple big beefy men wrestling tonight. Them,
Yeah, we did.
Moose, Morrissey, Jonah.
I didn't quite. The one thing I didn't like so much in this match was that like the running bit was like that Jake wasn't strong enough to suplex Hikuleo, which I thought was really weird because like he's a pretty big dude.
Well, what commentary said was that he's like it was because he's too tall, and so like the proportions doesn't really work for lifting him. I think he said because he's making his body go limp.
That could be it. I liked this match a lot though. I thought this was fucking awesome.
Yeah, it was a ton of fun. Miriam said Tony Khan could afford Rebel Heart. There's some hope. I hope so.
True.
Really hope so. If not some version of it. Like we got some version of Adam Cole's walkout in AEW. So we can get a version of Rebel Heart for Johnny.
There's always and always have your fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Say that much.
Yeah. Def Rebel was working on miracles when he did Rebel Heart. Was it Def Rebel?
I have no clue.
I feel like it was. No, it was CFOS. Okay.
Yeah, CFOS is usually they made the good ones.
Although, Def Rebel did do Zoe Starks, and that one is fantastic.
That one I don't really know.
Okay, so going to the main card, we had Matt Cardona come out to start the show. He says Turning Point was a hell of the show. There was no referee because Morrissey shoved me into the ref. For those who didn't know, Morrissey fought W.Morrissey fought Matt Cardona at Turning Point, which Morrissey won. He says, "I'm not here to complain. Moose knows what I'm capable of. The only reason I'm here at Impact is to be the world champion. So Moose, listen up. I guess that means the only reason I'm here is to beat." And then Moose comes out. He says, "Matt, how long have you been wrestling?" This was a fantastic promo from Moose. "How long have you been wrestling?" 18 years. In that 18 years, I'm sure you've accomplished so much. You've been all around the world, and everyone knows who you are. You have your own YouTube channel, your own podcast. You have a huge house, and in that huge house, you have a room with all these action figures. You have a beautiful wife. You've even earned a cute little nickname in the indies, the Deathmatch King, which then prompted a Deathmatch King chant from the crowd. But Matt, don't try to overshoot that. Truthfully, you're just not that guy. You would never be a top guy in this business. Do you really want to step into the ring with me? Do you really want to have a match with me? I know you saw what I did to Eddie Edwards. I'm standing, he's not. Do you really want to have a wrestling match with the wrestling god? I promise you, it's gonna last as long as your Intercontinental Championship run. Does that make you mad? Does that make you hot? They saw in you what I see in you. You're nothing but a mid-carder. You should change your name to Mid-Cardona."
That was fucked up.
That was
That was
amazing. And Cardona just says, "You've got a big mouth, say that one more time." Moose is about to say it, but then Cardona hits Moose, takes him down. Morrissey runs down the ramp to help Moose. And they eventually take down Cardona, and Eddie Edwards comes out to help and to set up a little partnership between Cardona and Edwards. We then get a promo from Violent by Design. Eric Young says, "Turning Point was a turn up for us and a turn down for you. Rhino, you came to Impact claiming family was the most powerful thing. We told you nobody walks away from VBD. There will be a reckoning of violence you can't understand. This is a warning, Impact. There is a design and it will be violent." Then we get Matt Cardona and Scott D'Amore. Scott says, "Seems like this isn't settled, and we need a main event tonight." Also something that is similar with WWE.
Kind of hated that. So look,
What is that?
our guest host.
Oh, I was looking at the wrong thing. She's like not in it.
Oh wait, yeah, because the
It's like cropped a little
layout.
bit. Yeah.
What's that?
Aw. So good. So good. She doesn't know what to do.
Beautiful. Also, she's doing the thing that I hate where she gets up on the bed and then lays in the middle of like the top of the bed. So that once I'm done with this, if she's still there, like what the fuck am I gonna do? I'm just gonna have to like curl up on the side.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, another similarity with WWE that sometimes they don't have their main event booked by Showtime. Although next week they do have their main event already booked, so they can't pull that same shit. Which I think it's gonna be Rhino versus Eric Young. I think that's their main event. Also, my notifications are on my laptop. Okay. Scott says, "You and Eddie versus Moose and Morrissey." Cardona says, "I want more than that. I want a shot at the title." Scott says, "Be ready for the main event, then prove you deserve an opportunity. You say you're always ready." Cardona leaves, and Jordan Grace and Rachel Ellering walk in. Rachel says, "We want a shot at the tag titles." We want a shot at the title, the knockout title. Scott says, "That match at Hard to Kill is going to have 6 competitors in it." And then Tasha Steelz and Savannah Evans walk in. Tasha says, "The only competitors you need are me and Savannah, not these 2 losers." Jordan says, "Losers, we are not." Oh no, Rachel says, "Losers, we are not 2 losers." Rachel says, "Last time I beat you." Scott says, ladies, tensions are running high. I'm going to announce the 6 competitors next week. Wait till then because we're settling issues tonight. Rachel and Savannah, 1-on-1. And then we go back to the ring for Matthew Raywalt versus Chris Sabin with Deonna Purrazzo on commentary.
I just want to say I called it. I was so excited with myself that I called it, and it made me very, very happy. Ooh, a little laggy. Okay. The match is like 90% just arm drags.
Yeah.
Neither here nor there. Matt gets a leg up during a commercial break, starts raining blows on the back of Sabin's neck, hits Sabin with this really fucking cool thing that I've never seen before, which is like the pendulum elbow. You thought it was cool because you commented on it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was really fun. Sabin ends up hanging Matt up on the top rope to get free. There's a jumping DDT to Raywalt. And then Deonna Purrazzo just like out of nowhere decides, you know what, fuck this. Gets up. She's on commentary. I don't know if we talked about that. But she's on commentary. She gets up on the apron and Sabin kind of like threatens to swing on her. And I was like, usually not legal in wrestling as it is, but okay.
Yeah.
Usually the closed fist punch and like the choke out are the two things that you're really just not allowed to do in wrestling. Whatever Chris wants to do. Raywalt takes advantage of the distraction. It's not enough though. We get a cradle shock 2 win. I like this match a lot. Thing I didn't like was, and it was only made better by one thing and one thing in particular, and that was at the end. Mickie James attacks Deonna. And then Mickie basically chases Deonna out of the arena.
Mm-hmm.
And Chris Sabin's just standing there looking at them like from like the ropes, like after the match is over, and he just like looks like as they're running after each other, and I was like, you know what? I get it, Chris. I get it.
Yeah.
Me too.
Also, you want to know something fun? 1 year ago today, Sting debuted at AEW at Winter is Coming.
Mm-hmm.
To an almost empty Daly's Place.
Oh yeah.
God, it feels so long ago.
It does. It really does.
All right. Also, Britt Baker tweeted out, "Love you, Maxwell," in response to the MJF thing.
That's good.
All right. Then we had Scott D'Amore and Chelsea Green. Chelsea says, oh no. Scott says, first ever Knockouts Ultimate X. I'll announce as competitors next week. Chelsea says the whole world is waiting for Chelsea versus Mickie, so call me. Alicia Edwards runs in. She says, how do I get in the Ultimate X match? Scott says, 6 competitors at Hard to Kill. Winner becomes #1 contender. I'll announce who they are next week. Alicia says, next week I better be in it. And then some guy comes in. Oh, it was the Giant Vidal. Giant Vidal.
Jay Vidal.
Jay Vidal.
Yes.
Because it's spelled like Jai.
Yeah. I don't know. I couldn't remember why I knew him, and then they started talking about Eric Young, and I was like, oh, him!
I specifically remember not knowing how to spell his name when I was writing it down.
Well, I was happy that they spelled it out for us because I didn't know what he was saying. Vidal, I thought he was like saying vital really weirdly. I was like, so is it a T? Because like he was saying like, you know, I'm Jay Vidal, like I like survived Eric Young and stuff like that, and I was like, oh, I get it, vital, like you're like really alive and shit, like, but no, I'm just a fucking moron actually.
I just had the main event for Hard to Kill spoiled for me. Not the result, but what the match is gonna be. Because it hasn't been announced yet.
Can you spoil it for me?
if you're not interested in spoilers, mute the stream right now. Oh no, this isn't gonna work for the audio crowd.
You can turn the volume down on a phone.
Yeah, but they won't know when to come back.
Oh.
I could just text it to you.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say to do. Just to be safe.
I feel like it's also a given.
Well, the way you're... Oh, I bet I know what it is.
It's that. I just messaged you.
Well, now we've got to wait for this message to go from Mark's room to my room. Which apparently is going to take a couple minutes.
From here to the satellite, back here.
It's really fucking annoying. It's just like, this is stupid. Wait, where'd you message me? Oh, did you message me in Discord?
Yeah.
Oh, that's why I can't fucking find it. I was checking Messenger.
You see it?
Oh. I sort of guessed that. I
I
that
feel
minus one person.
I feel like you could gather that from what happened at the end.
Yeah.
But I feel like I still shouldn't say it.
Yeah, no. If you haven't figured it out by now, though, you probably didn't watch the show.
Right. But with that said, so Giant Vidal comes in, Giant Vidal, and Scott immediately says you're not going to be in that Knockout Ultimate X match. But Jay says, your next pay-per-view is hard to kill, and who else is harder to kill than me? Scott says, the fact that you're standing here is impressive. That's the moxie I like to see. I do have an opportunity. It's against Jonah, and it's next. And Jay just has a 1,000-yard stare after that. And then we get Jay Vidal versus Jonah.
Yeah. So, Jonah at one point, right at the beginning actually, tosses Jay overhead behind him. Jay lands on his feet, clubs Jonah, who doesn't move whatsoever. There's a big vertical suplex to Jay before Jonah sentons onto him, and then we get a tsunami to win, which is not called a tsunami. I don't know what they're gonna call it, but
well, Jonah still called it the tsunami on Twitter.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah, maybe commentary was just hesitant to say it.
Maybe.
But yeah, it's definitely called the tsunami still. Also, a quick shout out to Xavier Woods, who wore a Danhausen shirt on G4. Amazing stuff.
Yep.
Okay, so after the match, Jonah's in the ring and he says, the whole wrestling world is talking about the top dog. That is because I take over wherever I go, and there's a reason I showed up in San Jose for NJPW. That's where I thought this show took place, in San Jose. And then you corrected me. That was to stand face to face with Moose. Moose is the world's champion, something I deserve to be. Before I go to Moose, let's talk about Josh Alexander. All I keep hearing from the boys online, all the fans, Josh is the best wrestler in the world. Well, to be the best, you have to go through the top dog. Never mind. I realize I can't talk about it. This is about the spoiler.
Oh.
I gotta get that out of my mind. Alright, so then we have an interview with Trey Miguel. He says, I feel really good about retaining. I should feel better though. The point is to remain champ, but I wanted to do it by beating Macklin. I pinned him and Laredo Kid. One kicked out, the other didn't. And then Macklin runs in and attacks Trey. They start brawling. Security tries to break him up, and it results in Trey Miguel jumping off some boxes or something onto
like a stack of steel stuff.
Yeah, onto security and Macklin. That was a good old backstage brawl. You don't get many of those now.
Huh.
Then we had most professional wrestler. distance learning. So Zicky Dice is with VSK, and they're trying to call Brian Myers. Brian answers, and he says, "How'd you get my number?" Zicky says he got it from Cardona's phone while he was in the ring. Myers hangs up. VSK wants to try and call, but Zicky says he's not going to answer. He's in the desert. VSK says when he answers, he says, "I don't know if you saw Turning Point, but Zicky says VSK lost to Rich Swann real bad." Brian Myers says, "Of course I saw Turning Point." And then Sling crashed on us.
Yeah, which was actually very funny.
Sling legit turned off on our TV. So then when we came back, we were at the Moose and Morrissey promo, which had Moose saying we have to make sure Cardona doesn't get close to the title. Morrissey says, "I don't know how that concerns me. We formed a beneficial alliance, but stopping Cardona, I don't see how that benefits me." Moose says, "It'll mean you don't get a shot at the title if he gets to it." Morrissey says, "I don't think you have any intention on giving me a title shot." And Moose responds, "I'm a man of my word. Help me beat Cardona and you will get the first crack at this." And then we get Savannah Evans versus Rachel Ellering.
Yeah. Big match. Big match. Two very strong ladies.
Mm-hmm.
We get a huge hip toss to Rachel, who has to fight off Tasha because she kind of like where she gets thrown is against the side of the ring that Tasha steals is like chilling out by. Rachel gets fucking wrecked for most of this match, dude. Like she gets fucking slammed.
Mm-hmm.
She goes for the twisting leg drop off the ropes, but Savannah catches her. Like catches her leg. There's a kickback DDT to Ellering. She finally starts fighting back. She gets Savannah on the ground with an uppercut, sentons onto her. She lifts Savannah up, but Tasha steals distracts by running after Jordan Grace. Doesn't really matter. There's a clothesline to Tasha because Tasha gets in the ring. So Rachel clotheslines her. She lifts Savannah, lands her square on the ground to win the match. Which I thought this match could have been done a little better.
Yeah, I'm not completely sold on Savannah. Rachel's really good, but Savannah's kind of still green.
Savannah, to me, I guess I just have problems with her because I can't like separate her from. Am I mistaken? She's not a good person.
I don't know anything like that.
Oh God, what is his name? Savannah. Is it Savannah Evans?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is she not with fucking what's his name? Chasen.
Chasen Rance?
Yeah.
Is she?
You're literally the one who told me this.
I don't remember.
Like, I swear to God, she. You literally told me this.
No, I think it's Santana Garrett, isn't it? No, never mind. Never mind. I don't know. Let's see.
If she's not, then sick. Awesome. Glad, you know. But you're literally the one who told me this.
Was it Eva Lise?
Who's Chasing Rance hanging out with nowadays?
Is it not still Ricochet and Casey? Trying to look at posts online.
Okay, well, people also search for Santana Garrett. For real, though.
Oh, wait, yeah, I think, hold on, Santana Garrett. spouse. No. Her spouse is definitely not Jason Rance.
Fiance, I think, is Jason Rance.
But she's married. Oh wait. Maybe not. Maybe they got divorced or something.
Okay. Sorry, Savannah. My deepest apologies.
Yeah.
I was looking at you through the wrong lens.
Yeah, she's married to a nutrition coach. Savannah Garrett. I don't know about Savannah. I think Savannah Evans is completely unrelated.
I wonder if you just said Savannah Garrett and I was looking at Savannah Evans and I was like, that's wild.
Oh, fun fact. Savannah Evans was trained by Cedric Alexander.
Oh, she teamed with Big Swole at one point.
Did she? Oh, yeah, at like Dark, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Anyways,
she's been on
so
there.
my apologies to Savannah Evans. I've gone the last few months not liking you. I guess I can't believe everything Mark tells me my brain interprets to be facts.
I didn't tell you that.
You straight up told me about Savannah Garrett, and I just thought Savannah Evans because I'm a fucking dipshit. And it's both like an essay with an at the end and a man's name as the surname. That's why. That's my logic. I'm gonna stick by that.
Oh, so they were engaged like years ago. Santana and Jason.
Hey, did you know this is kosher?
That's good.
So putting that aside then, I really like I do really like Savannah Evans. I think that she's a nasty fucking wrestler.
I think she's in the same boat as Omos for me. She doesn't have a ton of personality, but I think from a skill level, she's really good. Yeah, having Tasha Steelz by her side is probably the best thing for her because Tasha's she's got a bold personality and it'll rub off on her. Yeah. All right, so after that we had a promo with the Influence. Tennille Dashwood is back, and Madison Rain's like, tell us everything. But Tennille's like, what's been happening here? Caleb says we got stuck in Wrestle House. New Girls came in and won the tag titles. They're Australian. Tennille says that they need to find those girls. And then backstage they run into Inspiration, who are interlocking arms and putting on lip gloss. Just staring into each other's eyes.
Love it.
Amazing.
I truly believe that that's what you need in a bestie.
So the Inspiration and Tennille start like freaking out. Caleb joins in too because of the vibe. They're happy to be reunited. But the Inspiration looks at Caleb and they're like, who are you? And he's like, I'm Caleb with a K. And Cassie says, well, we're the Inspiration with 2 eyes.
And he's like, oh! I do love how they, like, Madison Rain's like, do you know them? He's like, no, I just like the vibe. It's like, literally me, Caleb. I get it.
I also love that this is like, it's just like, not everything has to be as a result in a feud. You know, people can make friends. Xavier Woods said it best. Wrestling is best. Wrestling is good when there's friendship involved.
Yeah, we're friends.
Yeah. All right, but in contrast, going to the ring, we then have Violent by Design versus Rich Swann and Willie Mack.
This was a good match.
Yeah, this was very fun. Until it got to Eric Young distracting.
Yeah. So Joe Doring comes out in a
Chewbacca
in his full fur coat.
Fucking Chewbacca.
Literally every time I'm like, Joe, you're a massive fucking dude. How are you not dying right now?
He's cold. It's a cold day.
I guess. Joe launches Rich Swann before getting Diener, and Diener eats a chop from Swann, which gets Mac in. Mac celebrates beating his ass up a little bit too long, gets shoulder tackled by Doring. once Doring and Diener have the upper hand, Diener ends up hitting a flying headbutt to Willie Mack. Doring gets in, hits a slam and an elbow drop. Mack bear paws the shit out of Diener, though, once he's back in. There's a cutter to Diener after Rich Swann takes Doring off the apron. Then Eric Young, Rich Swann goes up top. Eric Young distracts. Diener sends Swann off of his feet onto the top turnbuckle. He then goes to attack Swann with the flagpole, but Willie Mack hits Diener with a back body slam. And then Swann hits his 450 splash to Diener to win. And that is the one reason why I didn't actually hate this interference, because it didn't change anything.
Right.
Really.
Yeah. And then Eric Young starts beating up on Rich and Willie. And then Rhino and Heath come out to save the day. And that sets up for next week's Rhino versus Eric Young in a street fight. That's going to be sick.
Yeah.
Love a good old street fight. So then we get Hernandez and Johnny Swinger backstage. Hernandez says, if that wedding went through, this was your wedding ring. He holds up something that looks massive. And then,
I thought you said this was your wedding gift and it was like this wad of cash.
Oh, I thought he said wedding ring.
No, I think he said wedding gift, and I think that's why when Rohit comes in, he's like, oh, is that for everybody?
Well, like you said, Rohit, Raju, and Raj Singh walk in, and Rohit mentioned something about crypto and like Raj Bucks or something.
No, Desi coin.
Desi coin. Rohit's so good. He's the best. Hernandez says we're not friends. Rohit says obviously because we weren't invited to Wrestle House. Larry D then walks in. He says I didn't want that riffraff in my home. Raj Singh says, do we look like riffraff? While you were away. Oh no. Rohit says, do we look like riffraff? While you're away, I was X Division champion. Larry D says maybe you can show me in a match next week. He then sprays on cologne, and then everyone starts coughing except Johnny Swinger.
And he's like, this is lovely.
Oh, fucking Swinger. He's the best. Alright. Then we get W.Morrissey and Moose versus Matt Cardona and Eddie Edwards.
Yeah. We get an ass to the camera, and Matt gets sent right into the ground by Morrissey. It's the funniest fucking thing, because it's literally ass to the camera, fucking Matt swatted to the ground.
Like, yeah, Matt Cardona got like a lens up his ass.
Yeah. There's a bulldog to Morrissey from Matt. Morrissey plows through Cardona. He gets Moose in. Cardona flips out of a near Morrissey powerbomb once Morrissey is back in, because Moose is in for like 5 seconds. Flips out of a near powerbomb. He gets Eddie in. Eddie hyperextends the knee of Morrissey. He goes up top. Moose tries to distract, but Eddie fends him off. He fends off Morrissey. He gets shoved off the top buckle, though, to the ground by Morrissey, where Mark and I were both like, oh my god, is that a dead man?
I love Morrissey's, because he's done this before, where he just casually pushes somebody off of the turnbuckle. It's so good.
It's good, but it's also, I feel like, very unsafe. Because, like, you're just saying, like, well, I hope you're ready for this.
There are 3 people you can do that to. Eddie Edwards, Chris Sabin, and Sami Callihan.
Yeah, that's probably true.
And if Darby Allin was an Impact, him too.
Yeah. And Alicia Edwards.
No, Morrissey's gonna do that no matter what.
Yeah, that's true. The ultimate feud. So Eddie gets tossed into the buckles before getting his neck cranked on by Morrissey. He goes to tag out, but Cardona gets ripped off the apron by Moose. Cardona gets in. He hits a drop kick to Moose and then a double suplex to Cardona. Nearly happens, but Eddie comes in, saves him, and basically match ends with Matt Cardona rolling up Moose to win.
Yes, and that pretty much guarantees that Cardona will get a match against Moose for Hard to Kill. title match. And then after the match, Morrissey turns on Moose, gives him a big old boot to the face. So that's a big old face turn for Morrissey.
Yeah, or not.
Tweener.
Yeah.
But with the way Morrissey has kind of been talking lately, how he's been kind of down to earth and questioning Moose a lot, it's kind of inevitable. Makes sense. It's not so off the cuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it was good. Really good. All right. You want to talk about bests of the night? Should I do the rankings update in this episode or on Sunday's show?
Sunday. Definitely Sunday.
Okay. All right. So, actually, why don't I do it now? Because it'll be tweeted first on Sunday. Let's incentivize people to come here and get the info first. All right. So before we get to the best of the night, let me give a quick update on the top 10 wrestlers in professional wrestling. All of professional wrestling, not just WWE or the major promotions, all over. All right, so number 10, one half of the Raw Tag Team Champions, Randy Orton. Number 9, the AAA. Oh no, he's not a champion anymore. The Bout Machine, Kenny by God Omega, number 9. Remember when he was number 1?
He's gonna follow up that pretty shortly, I'm sure.
Yep. Actually, it might be a while, actually. Because he's not having any matches anytime soon.
Oh, I felt like that would make it so he does.
It depends. Number 8, Sting's best friend, Darby Allin. Number 7, one half of the Impact Tag Champs, Doc Gallows. Number 6, best wrestler in the world, Josh Alexander. Number 5, the Raw Women's Champion, Becky Lynch. Number 4, the Universal Champion, Roman Reigns. Number 3, the WWE Champion, Big E. Number 2, the other half of the Raw Tag Team Champions, Riddle. And number 1, the United States Champion, Damian Priest. And with the new year coming, the rankings will reset. So this list will be finalized very soon. We might get an indie wrestler in there. We might get somebody from New Japan in there before the year is up. Might get some more Impact people, or some WWE people might fall off that list. Hopefully. Right now, WWE has a monopoly on the list. They've got
yeah, and that's when people see the list and they're like, "That's wrong." It's like, well, not our fault.
Yeah, it doesn't help that at their house shows they only have title matches, or almost only title matches.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get into the best of the night. If you have a question for our question segment, which is after the bests of the night, leave it in the chat now, and we'll get to it after the bests of the night. If you're watching on YouTube, leave a comment, and we'll get to it in the next episode. If you're listening in the audio realm, sorry, but you'll have to join us at the live show, twitch.tv/The Pinfall Podcast, or on YouTube, The Pinfall Podcast. But without further ado, let's get into the promo of the night. And there wasn't a ton. I mean, Moose's promo was fantastic, but that wasn't the only part of the promo. Matt Cardona was also the other part, and it was kind of weak. But then there was also like Scott yelling at Alicia, which was fun. But that wasn't the only part of the promo. But then you had the backstage brawl with Macklin and Trey, which was cool. And then there was also the inspiration and the influence. That was fun. It's tough.
Yeah.
Do you have any ideas?
I don't know. I really don't. I The backstage brawl is pretty sick.
It was. It was. One of the better backstage brawls that we've seen.
Yeah.
You want to go with that?
Yeah. Why not?
All right. So, next up is Wrestler of the Night. Now, let me give you a couple options for this. Nobody was really impressive in this episode. So I'm going to give you a couple options. This will include BTI. Let me give you Jake something, Matthew Raywalt, and Rich Swann. One out of those three. Unless you have one that's not part of that group.
I don't know if I do, but like, I don't know. Who would you lean towards?
Probably Matt Raywalt. I mean, he puts so much gusto in his wrestling, and it's not just because of his gimmick. He just puts so much of his gimmick into his moveset.
Yeah, I can go with that.
Okay. I wish he'd won. He really needed to win that. There's no reason for Chris Sabin to have won that match.
No, it's gonna become a feud.
Yeah. Like, they could still make it a feud and have Chris Sabin lose. Like, if anyone is gonna like jump back after a loss and want to fight their opponent, it's Chris Sabin. He can eat so many losses and still be fine.
Yeah. I didn't hate that, honestly.
Mm. All right, so Matt Raywalt is our Wrestler of the Night. Now let's go to our Match of the Night. As always, we go from the worst to the best match, and Liz will say if she agreed. There's nothing super exceptional this week. But without further ado, let's get to the worst match, which was Jonah versus Giant Vidal with a 4 out of 10. It was a squash match, wasn't anything special. You know, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, 4 out of 10, Savannah Evans versus Rachel Ellering. This is fine. Again, I'm not really sold on Savannah Evans yet. I still think she's got a ways to go. She looks good.
I disagree with that.
Hmm?
I disagree with it, but not to the point where I think it's going to be a problem.
Yeah. I just think that she's got a good move set. I just think she needs to, you know, get a bit more of a in-ring personality. Next up, with a 5 out of 10, Matthew Raywalt versus Chris Sabin. This match was really fun. I'm glad the distraction wasn't too much with like Deonna Purrazzo and Mickie James. Like when Mickie James came out, there was like they weren't distracted, which normally they would be. The only reason I didn't rank this higher was because I feel like the wrong person won, but it didn't upset me that much.
Yeah.
Next up, with a 6 out of 10. What is W.Morrissey and Moose versus Matt Cardona and Eddie Edwards. I thought this match was fun. It was fine. You know, pretty good. Nothing really special. Nobody really shined that much in this match. I'm really excited for any singles match between Moose and Matt Cardona. Or even W.Morrissey and Moose. I think it'll be great. But this match didn't really do anything for me. Next up, Hikuleo versus Jake something, 6 out of 10. It's a really fun match. This should have been on the main card with how fun this was.
Yeah. This was like one of those matches where like when they announced it for BTI, I was like,
Which, like, I get it. Jake something is like a BTI guy, I guess. Which
He doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Stick him in the faction. Any faction. All right, and my pick for match of the night: Diener and Joe Doring versus Rich Swann and Willie Mack. 6 out of 10. This is a lot of fun. This is just great.
Yeah.
Great beefy fun.
I fully agree.
I love watching.
I had the time
DVD.
I liked this match.
Yeah.
It's a mixture of like DVD is always super fun to watch, and then on top of that, Willie Mack and Rich Swann are super fun to watch.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's like, of course. Yeah, no, I totally agree. I knew it was going to be this one too. The moment I started taking notes, I was like, I've taken a lot of notes for this.
All right, so to run it back, promo of the night: Trey Miguel and Steve Macklin brawl backstage. Wrestler of the night: Matthew Raywalt. Match of the night: VBD versus Rich Swann and Willie Mack. All right, you want to answer some questions?
Yeah, I'll answer a question.
Let me check on YouTube, see if we have any questions there before we start. Is this a question we haven't answered? No. Okay. So, question from Miriam in the chat: who do you guys think will be part of the Knockouts Ultimate X match?
Well, it better be Alicia.
Alicia, yeah, she'll bring the fire with the kendo stick. What's the name of her kendo stick?
Kendra.
Kendra?
Yeah. I think Deanna will be.
You think Deanna?
Yeah.
No, she has a match against Mickey at Hard to Kill.
Oh.
Jordan Grace better be a part of it.
Jordan Grace, I would assume, yeah.
I hope Sue Young.
I hope Sue Young or
Kimberly.
Thank you, Kimberly.
Here, wait. You give your 6th, and then I'll give my 6.
6? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's how many are.
So I've got Alicia, Kimberly, Jordan. I would assume either Tasha or Savannah. And maybe like Madison Rain to Neil. One of those ladies.
Okay. I'm gonna say Jordan, Alicia, Tasha, Chelsea Green.
Oh yeah.
Sue Young, and Rosemary. I think that's a good card.
That's strong. I was kind of upset we didn't see any. I know that we're gonna see Decay next week, but we didn't get to see any Decay this week.
Yeah, I mean, I like that they try not they don't try and like shove everyone in like WWE tries to do, like have everyone make an appearance.
That's true.
So it
saves us from weird Callisto "I like your hat" promos.
Yeah, or Shinsuke standing on the sideline as Rick Boogs has a match.
Yeah.
It makes people feel valued, or appear valued.
I really am looking forward to the Ultimate X Knockouts match. I think it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, especially after the what was that match at is it Bound for Glory? The triple threat or fatal 4-way or whatever with the women, with Alicia, Jordan, Kimberly, and Savannah.
Oh, the Monsters Ball.
Monsters Ball, yeah. If it's anything like that, it'll be fantastic.
Yeah.
Even though Savannah won that when she definitely should not have.
Stupid. I was so mad.
She was barely in the match.
And it was not just because I thought that Savannah was a horrible person at the time, but I just thought it was like a very stupid choice.
Jordan 100% should have won that. I mean, after that
Yeah.
muscle buster, my God.
Yeah. Or even Kimberly at that point, because she was like, it's so many fucking like tacks sticking out of her, and I was like,
Yeah.
this isn't fun.
Yeah.
I'm not having fun anymore.
All right, well, that does it for us. That's all the questions we have. Liz, would you like to close out the show?
Yes, I would. If you joined us tonight, thank you so much. And if you joined us in the future, thank you so much. Happy over halfway through Hanukkah Day. Please join us Sunday for our Sunday show, which will be our Friendsgiving hangover show.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to be talking about war games this weekend.
NXT War Games.
So that will be a later show than I think our Sunday shows typically will be. I don't know if we decided when we would normally do them.
I figured if it's for like a show that's on a Sunday, it would just be after that.
No, but that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is like if it's not on a Sunday.
Do like 9.
Oh, really? I thought we would do like midday.
Oh, midday.
Yeah.
Could do it then.
What are people doing on Sundays?
Brunch.
No. Brunch.
All right, stick around. Twitch. We're gonna raid a friend of ours. But in the meantime, join us in the live show if you're not already. Twitch.tv/The Pinfall Podcast. Our YouTube, if you want to catch up on all of our action. That is YouTube. That is on YouTube, The Pinfall Podcast. If you don't want to see our faces, but listen to us on your commute, Spotify, you can find our audio podcast there. Search The Pinfall Podcast. Twitter is at Pinfall Podcast. I'm at the Mark Cameron. Liz is at Eliza Elaine23. And we'll see you all on Sunday for NXT TakeOver War Games. Now stick around because we're going to raid a friend of ours, T-Rex, who is streaming, what is he streaming? Call of Duty. So say hi to our buddy, T-Rex. And until Sunday, have a fantastic rest of the week.